Hi guys, welcome back to Hither Green TMD in O-Gauge. I haven't gone away, I've just been extremely busy at work, caning in the overtime hours to clear a few payment things off. You know how life is, it gets in the way of the modelling, but we're still here, we're still modelling, just been a little bit slower of recent. So nothing actually has happened on the layout per se. I've just been working on the guard's cabin, which is the subject of today's video. I've completed, as you saw previously, the brick mortar. I've added since then the seals and the lintels on the windows and the doors, and that is pretty much it since the last video update. So today's little project is on the roof here. It's a recessed roof. This will be filled with gravel on the real building, and this was like a felted sheet was around the edge and into the well of the roof, and there would have been a drain pipe down the back corner here, and that I'll add later, but today is all about the roof, so we'll ignore the body shell, we'll put him back over there. So I've prepared the roof inside, concrete colour round over the lip of the roof, white for the interior ceiling. I will be fitting lights to this, and that will be the subject probably of next video. So yes, this is prepared. I'll take this over to the workbench and we'll have a go at trying to replicate some roofing felt around the edge, and we'll see how we go. Okay, welcome back to the messy workbench. Right, what we're going to do is roofing felt. What I've decided on the material of choice for this is going to be, I've got some aluminium oxide paper P180. It's relatively coarse, not too bad I hope. By the time we paint it, after it's glued on, hopefully it will look like roofing felt. So all we're going to need really for this is the roofing felt material, in this case the sandpaper, steel rule, pencil, craft knife, sharp. It's not going to stay sharp for long cutting into this, but we cut from the back so it shouldn't be too bad, and PVA glue to hold it down. I've got a load of clothes pegs to hold it in position while it glues. So that should be pretty much everything that we need. So a quick chat about what I've done so far. You will notice there's a piece of concrete-ish coloured paint there. I haven't bothered with the rest of it because it won't matter. The period of which I'm modelling Hither Green is not long before they bulldozed this building, and you can see in photographs that this section of roof on the front, the felt has been ripped off and exposed the concrete below. So I'm going to be gluing it on and then prototypically ripping a bit off out of this section here, although I won't bother with the glue on here. So hopefully it will sort of replicate the effect of what I'm looking for. So we'll start off with working out how wide we want this. Now it's going to be quite simple. It hasn't got to be exactly accurate because it's going to be down on the inside, and the inside edge will be coated with sandpaper. Sorry, sand. So I'll just cut a couple of strips. I reckon 25mm wide will be more than I'm going to need. So we'll just mark on the back here 25 and 50mm. I'll do the same at this end. Doing it the hard way. Right, so 25 is there, 50 is there. I won't need any more than 2 strips, I don't think. Now let's measure that. Something's not quite right there, so what are we? We are 25. Might be just an optical illusion. 25. Yeah, it's an optical illusion. The writing is in different places, so yeah. It may look dodgy, but apparently that is straight. Honestly, I'm going to remeasure that because that looks so far out. That's 24. No, so that is right. So even though that line looks absolutely miles out of straight, it is right. So, okay, optical illusion, sharp knife through from the back. Okay, it looks definitely straighter from the front. Oh, that was weird. It just looks so out of true. Like I say, it doesn't have to be accurate, particularly, and I reckon I'm going to do a roll cuts every, oh that's handy, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, oh, typical, so it's not every 2 squares, but I'm going to cut it every 1.5 roughly squares long. Squares. There we go. So we have some rough strips of felt. Okay, not exactly exact in size, but it doesn't matter. And we'll do the same with this one. Approximately every 1.5 squares. They're a bit more accurate, I think. But anyway, so now we have our bits of roofing felt. So the object of the exercise is to stick that on there, fold it over, and glue it on. I'll get the PVA glue. Right, we are back. What I have done is on the bits of sandpaper here, I put a strip of, or a mark of 6mm from the edge. And what I'm going to do is pre-bend a 90-degree bend on the paper so that it will fit better and overlap nicely and stick down easier. That's the plan, so I shall just go along and quickly do these. So there we go, bad done. Do these two as well. These ought to have been sort of kinked in use, so they might not lay properly, so they're the reserve pieces just in case. Leave those out. So there we have, hopefully, sort of a representation of roofing felt, which we can now go along and glue onto the roof using quickset PVA. One thing to consider is how I'm going to do the corners, and what I'm going to do is overlap by at least 6mm. Cut this edge here, fold in and fold down, so it's a nice neat edge. So I'm going to start at this corner here and glue the first one on. And use plenty of glue. Too much glue. Don't you love it when a plan comes together like that? So we're going to slide him on there. I'm going to attach a clothes peg to hold him in place. So now you can see this corner where I'm going to just gently cut down there, apply a little bit more glue, I'm going to fold the side in first and then the top down. Apply some pressure to that. And once this corner one is set, we'll come back. See you shortly. Okay, so that's now secure on there. So what I want to do is overlap just a little bit, a couple of mil overlap, and then the next one. But because I'm missing one out, because it's getting ripped off, I need to stick the third one in that position there. So I'm just going to mark where I want him. Apply a bit of glue. Now what I have done, I've decanted it into a tub after the last little mess. It's going to be easier to handle. I just want it to go over the edge, so there's glue to hold it. So when I rip it, it will replicate the ripped off stuff that is on the roof originally. So we'll just stick that on there. And he is a good ready to be ripped, to replicate the missing roofing felt. Now that edge can stay square because it would have been the corner of the existing felt that got ripped off. So we're all good there. So now just there. So I'll take him to there. A slight overlap. Plenty of glue on that part of the overlap. And down the front. And stick. because of the fold on the front. And it fits nicely, nice and snug against the front edge of the roof. So here we have, as you can see, the roofing felt. I think you can see that there. So I shall carry on with that and come back once I've got a little bit further on. But again, I'm just going to attach some pegs just to hold it firmly as I go along. Back in a bit. So there we have the front and the strips of felt that would work to the back. So what I'm going to do now is, now that this has had time to go tacky and stick, I'm going to insert some glue underneath and then fold into the roof well the felt bits that are here. It's literally just a case of pushing it down. Yep, that works well. Let's fold it in with the rule. Doesn't matter about the glue getting on the back here because we've got to cover it all with sand anyway. So we'll just push him in. Same as well, just squeeze him in there. And working our way around. Just keep pressing it down until it's firm. Closed pegs might reach. No. What I can use is that piece of wood there, and then the closed peg, just to hold that firmly down the back. Right, now the corner, we've got to do a little bit of surgery, so I'm just going to go from the corner. It's probably not right, but it will do for this, and just cut in a roughly 45-degree cut from the corner there, and hit the glue, smooth it in. Again, push it in, and tuck the cord in. So the fact that the little gap opens up doesn't matter because we're going to cover in with a small layer of sand once we painted the felt. I'm just going to keep pressing until the glue's got a decent hold and it stops coming out again. there, I think you can see the effect that we're going for. So it's as if the felt has been stuck onto the roof. So I shall now do this corner and then I'll do the rest and we'll come back. Okay, so there we are. We have the sandpaper glued all around the edge, ready for an infill layer of sand. I have the missing strip of felt from the front. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to give it a little while just to dry off a little bit more, and then I'm going to get some grey paint and I'm going to paint it a roofing felt colour. But the building is coming along nicely. To paint this, I'm going to use Humbrol Matte Enamel number 67, which is a dark grey colour. And hopefully I can just rub it in, just on the paper, including the bit where it's torn off. And I shall just run around. It doesn't have to be perfect. Just paint around it. The reason I'm using the enamel instead of acrylic is because I've got PVA glue everywhere, and the acrylic being water-based might not cover any blobs of glue quite so well. So the enamel in this case will do me nicely. And there we go, roofing felt. Or at least that's the plan. Just slowly work my way around. So there we have it, roofing felt. I think that's come up quite nicely. Don't you? I reckon that'll do. I'll give that a while to cure, go off so I can touch it again, and then we'll be ready for applying the ballast stone and gravel onto the roof. Back in a bit. Now that the roof is dry, I want to highlight the texture of it. So what we're going to do is, I've got no tissue in here and I'm now stuck in the door because the light's in the way. I'm set up, so I'll have to use white. I was going to use a light grey, but I can't get the lid off my jar, so we're going to really dry it. So I'm going to wipe off that and just gently highlight some of the shape, just gently rub it on with as little paint as possible, and it just picks out the details in the sandpaper. So on there, wipe it off, and just gently go over, roughly like that. Picks up details of the seams and everything else. So just literally scrub it, dry brush with a minimum amount, and it just highlights the edges and the tops of the bits of sand in the paper. It just gives it that look of slightly weathered. As much paint off the brush as possible to start with, and then just gently. It just adds different tones of colour. If you go from the low to the high side of the felt, then it highlights, picks up on the edge of the next layer and leaves a shadow on the first layer, the lower layer. So it should be going clean off and just brush away up onto the higher level from the lower. And there as well, and it just picks up the edge. Way too much. No problem, it doesn't matter. Scrub. No issue. Just some bits are bright cleaner than others. It just loses the dark grey, highlights the tops and the edges, which are the parts that would weather. So there you can see the roofing felt. That is the roofing felt finished. So all that is left to do now is to a layer of glue inside, a layer of sand and some PVA to stick it all down with. So that's where we're at so far. I think that looks pretty good. Obviously the rest of the buildings and this bit of concrete hasn't yet been weathered down, but it's coming along lovely. So next job, like I say, sand to represent gravel. Right, so the final part, PVA glue, sand sieved from the garden, an old brush, but doesn't matter that you get glue on it. And the reason I've changed the PVA is because the other stuff is quick setting and I don't want it too quick. A liberal coating of glue. So I want to have time to settle before I put the sand on. So just slowly work it around. What I might do after this initial layer is put another layer on and apply 50-50 mix just to even out the top once it's on. But at the minute I just want a bonding layer to seal the roof all in. it around. I should really do this bit outside, but it's 45, well, getting on for 45 degrees today. So I'm going to stay in here under the fan because I just sieved the sand outside and burnt my feet. So I'm not going to stay out there today for any time more than necessary. Just enjoy being indoors, under the fan, under the aircon, spreading glue about. I'm just using another brush just to get in the corner right. It's going alright. I need to get it done before it skins, if I can. So there we have the layout of where I'm going to have the sand, and ballast, and gravel. Feel. There's a small layer. Tell you what, that one advantage of 45 degrees is I'll put this outside and it's going to be dry in no time. I reckon. And dust off the top. And that would be that. So go and clean my brush and give it a soak of 50-50 bits. Back in a bit. Okay, so what we got is the roof. We've got my 50-50 mix of PVA. I also have my blue liquid window cleaner. Basically I just mist this on to break the surface tension and then liberally soak in the PVA mix. You because of the weather. I'm now going to go and take this outside, and hopefully in pretty much no time at all it's going to be dry. So back very shortly. And here we have it, the finished roof with the sand and gravel on top, with the roofing felt edging around the roof. So I'm just going to put that on the layout and we'll go and have a look at it over there. In its position, and the roof is done. So all that's left to do on the building now is to glaze it and run some cables that were on the real building and fit a door handle, because this chap is wondering how we can get in the building. But there we have it. So I'll stick a couple of photos on as well, and any questions please ask in the comments section, and I'll come back and answer them as best as I can. So catch you next time. Enjoy your modelling. See you later.